Hello everybody, it's Tommy and welcome back to another tour video for the Disney Save. Today we're going to be touring my newest version of Willow Creek that has recently been redone to make some accommodations for some new packs that we have gotten for The Sims 4. So basically, we got the Sims 4 Cottage Living and that added a brand new world called Henford on Bagley, and when I was planning for the Disney Save and trying to figure out what are we going to do in this new world, it just made a lot of sense to maybe take some of the lots that we already had in Willow Creek and move them there because they just would fit way better aesthetically. And that meant that we had to change some of the lots that were in this first world that I did for the Disney Save. So we're going to be going over the changes to Willow Creek, all of my updates. We also recently got the pond tool and some base game updates. So I've updated and changed a lot of these lots, and I'm really excited to show you the new families, the new lots, and all of the little alterations that we've made for the Disney Save. So if this is your first video of mine, definitely check out in my playlist linked in the description box down below. That is a playlist for the Disney Save, and that is my Sims 4 save file that completely redoes the Sims to be Disney themed. Every lot, every single Sim, every hidden lot, townies, everything across the board. I've been slowly going through and changing everything, and one of the first worlds that I finished was Willow Creek. Originally, Willow Creek was Beauty and the Beast, the Rescuers, and Princess and the Frog themed. And version 2, this newer released version, is going to be Princess and the Frog, Beauty and the Beast, The Rescuers, Dumbo, and a little bit of Disneyland references. So without further ado, let's jump into some of the newer builds for today, but make sure you definitely check out not only the Disney Save playlist, but I have a new playlist called Disney Save World Tours if you'd like to get all up to date with all of the worlds that are completed for the Disney Save, including the original version for this world. And if you'd like to support the Disney Save on Patreon, I do have a Patreon link down below for that. Check it out. I offer different perks behind the scenes, special things, and helping decision making for the process of the save file. So if you want to become a part of the process, check out my Patreon linked in the description box down below. And let's jump into the first build, which is going to be this circus build here. So with doing Dumbo and adding Dumbo to this world, Dumbo takes place in Florida. So geographically, it's probably one of the better locations to add to Willow Creek to mesh with the entire area. Because if you don't know, Willow Creek is based after Louisiana, New Orleans. So that's why we have a lot of Princess and the Frog here. But we were also trying to think of what else could we add, and Dumbo came up as a possibility to add to this world, which is kind of funny because I had originally planned to put Dumbo in here the first time around, but I wasn't really sure how to properly integrate it. And I'm glad I waited because I think the versions that we ended up with for the builds and things like that are a lot better. So you can see we have a brand new household here, the Dumbo Circus household. If you go on the gallery, and I do have all of these guys up on the gallery, they are, I believe, called the Circus Family or something like that, because the gallery won't let me upload it as a household called Dumbo. I guess that's one of the marked words for the gallery for whatever reason. But let's actually go in and check out this build. I am going to just go into build mode to check it out really quickly. My game is currently in fall, which is one of my least favorite ways to show the save file off. Seasons is like really great and it added so many cool items, but I do have some problems with like adding seasons in because it adds these little weird bits like we've got leaves and stuff on the ground there, and it's just not my favorite way to show off all of my hard work. So this is the Medici Brothers Circus Residential. And yes, you heard me right, it's a residential for our little Dumbo family. The reason I went with a residential is because we don't really have a lot type that I felt like would fit it more appropriately, and then we didn't really have a place for the Dumbo characters to live. So I thought it'd be fun and unique to have it be a circus. They can live in kind of a weird environment. And there's quite a bit going on here. I'm going to show you guys the various tents. We have this little tent area over here that is like a residential area. This is where all of the rooms and bedrooms are. We have the main tent in the center here, which is the actual entertainment space, and it's actually designed like a circus tent, so that you could possibly use this lot for like multiple purposes. If you wanted to have it be more of an entertainment space or a nightclub or something like that, could pretty easily be converted. But another thing that I really wanted to have for this lot, I think whenever you go to like a festival or a circus or something like that, they always have this like midway section where there's lots of places to get food and drinks, play games, stuff like that. So we have all these debug booths here. You can actually hire workers to work them. It doesn't matter that the lot is a residential. You can hire them for like 100 simoleons each, and they will open up the booths, and then you can just get the various food and you can sit at the tables here. I did, of course, add an actual kitchen so that your Sims aren't living off of booth carnival food, but they're there to kind of play into the aesthetics of the entire thing. We also have here a custom dunk tank, which is really funny. My boyfriend actually came up with the idea for this. It doesn't work, obviously. It's all kind of meant to be aesthetically there, but I thought it was really fun. And we have darts over here as well, kind of like the balloon popping game. We have this area over here that was originally supposed to be a residential, but I found out that you can't actually let Sims live in these tents from Get Famous, which is a little bit of a shame because they're one of the only older style tents that we have. So now it's kind of like a mock residential section of the lot, and there's some hobby-based things over here. There's like the laundry, there's the keg blower, the keg thing from University that was supposed to be a tribute to the pink bubbles, the pink elephant scene in Dumbo. And then we've got woodworking tables, we've got a little bar thing, just kind of stuff that you might want for a residential lot. Now, if we want to take a second, we'll go into this mode here. I'm not sure how effective it's going to be for these little tents here, because they are a little crammed and they're very colorful, so this might not be the best way to show them off. But we have these 3 residential tents here. So on this lot, we have Mrs. Jumbo, that is Dumbo's mother. We have baby Dumbo, who is a toddler. And then we have Timothy Mouse, a teen, unrelated to any of them. He kind of just lives at the circus. And then we have the ringmaster, who is named Max Medici, and his name is based after the live action Dumbo. So that is our little squad that lives at this lot. I kind of wanted to do more, but honestly, I hated all of the characters from Dumbo other than like the main ones, and I wasn't a big fan of the live action, so that's what we ended up with. But this first tent here is for Timothy Mouse. I wanted to keep it really colorful so that it kind of fit in with the vibe of the circus. He is a teen, so I wanted him to just have like his basics. And then I thought it would be funny if we gave him a rat / mouse. I've never used this item before in the Disney save, and probably won't get too many opportunities to. I'll show you that from the overhead as well, just so you can kind of see. This shape is always a tough one to decorate, but we're keeping the rooms a little bit simple here. Trust me, this lot is nothing but simple, so if we can keep it a little simple with some of these rooms, then, you know, we will. This is Max Medici's room. He is the ring master, so he kind of has a nicer little setup, but still crammed, still kind of on the go. Like, that was the idea of it, that characters would be more here temporarily, or it's a circus that travels, so things are not as established as you would think, other than this bed being absolutely ridiculous. And then we have Dumbo and Mrs. Jumbo's living space. They get the larger tent with the built-in bathroom, which is kind of important for a toddler, with the bathtub and the shower and everything. And I tried to just make it look like it was tent life, like on the go, a little put together, something that can be popped up and put back down if you needed to travel. We've got a small play area for baby Dumbo here, and the 2 beds, the mom having the bunk bed and then the toddler bed kind of tucked over there. Some small elephant references here and there with the carpet, and there's like one on the wall over here. You'd be surprised how little elephant items we actually have in the game. I was, definitely. I wanted like a big elephant stuffed animal or something for this space, but it also makes sense that Dumbo may not have tons of toys and things like that. And then for the main event, we have the circus tent. Very, very fun. This is like so colorful. I'm so happy with how this turned out. I wanted it to just basically look like it could be a functioning circus. So obviously it's more of like the general living area, the living room, if you will. And this is also the kitchen. So we have a couple of special things over here. Let me see if I can get down to this level. The idea was brought up to do a concession stand, and that would be sort of in place of the kitchen. Not sure what the weird shadows are over here. But we don't have an actual popcorn machine that's like these old style push cart popcorn machines that you would see at like a circus like this. So I did a custom one. And then we do have the actual popcorn machine on the shelf here in the back with the cake kind of sticking through it. Candy, stuff like that you would see for sale at a concession stand. And then your Sims can actually walk up these stairs onto the platforms and sit in all of these various seats. Back rows do not work because they're just a little bit too close to the tent. But really, really, really cool. Very happy with how that turned out. And that is this lot. We actually have another Dumbo themed lot. So we're going to go ahead and scoot over to that one. That is our newest residential for this area. There is another residential for this area that I added, but we're going to be going over that in a moment here. Let's take a look at the Casey Jr. Train Lounge. This is another Dumbo themed lot. This was my first lounge for the Disney Save. It's kind of like a bar slash, I don't know, a bar slash nightclub combo. It feels like a bar with some instruments and mics and things like that. So the idea was to do a recreation of the Casey Jr. train, which is the train that brings the animals and the performers to the circus in Dumbo. So I've recreated some of the carts from not only the parks, but the movie as well. And this is more like the train is permanently stationed and it got turned into a lounge. So I wanted to do like animal print in here, theme it very heavily after the animals that you see in Dumbo, and have it be like kind of a unique lounge experience. Because like I said, a lounge is kind of like a bar with musical instruments that you play and have access to. So having the carts be the rooms that have like the different themes. So the first one here, this yellow cart, we have kind of a tiger theme going on. And this is the cart that features the record player. So we have that. Cart number 2, the green one in the middle here, is elephant themed. Very, very lightly, because like I said, we don't have a ton of elephant stuff in the game. We've got these little wood statues, but I went with the gray for the elephants. It's the bathroom, so that we have the bathroom on the lot. Obviously, it's kind of necessary. The blue one here is the zebra, and it features a piano, stand-up piano. And then the last one is leopard print, and it has the jukebox. But as the main bar area, this is like the most exciting thing, I think. Originally, when I was doing reference for this building would have been like the giraffe house. So I had some reference from Dumbo, and they had all these different houses where they kept the animals, and it would be like the houses where the animals are kept year round before they get onto the train for the traveling circus. Hence why we have this little llama one here as well, kind of all for aesthetics, right? But this one was supposed to be the giraffe house, so I thought it would be so much fun to have it be the main part of the lounge, the bar area, and you can come in here and drink and eat with the elephants. Not the elephants, the giraffes. So exciting. So we have a bunch of giraffes in here. You can come in here. This is where you would get a drink. This is like the main area. And it's a giraffe house. They're kind of hanging out in here. They've got lots of plants for snacking on. We've got hay, newly updated with cottage living. And then the actual bar area is all the way down here, which is where you would grab a drink and then kind of go throughout the rest of the lot. But you could hang out here with the giraffes. That's like the most exciting thing ever. Like something I never thought I would build for the Disney Save. And here we are. Very cool. And that is the Casey Jr. Train Lounge. I hope you guys like it. That is our second Dumbo themed lot. And we're going to be moving on to a Princess and the Frog residential that is brand new. So we have Mama Odie's treehouse, and Mama Odie from Princess and the Frog. She was originally already in the save file. She was just a townie. So she finally gets her actual residential, which is shown in the movie. It's kind of like this boat that's stuck in a tree. I call it a tree house, but it's not necessarily like that. And a lot of people advocated for her to have her own home because it is shown off in the movie, but I was kind of intimidated about the idea of building something like this. But I'm pretty happy that we went for it. And I'm glad that she finally gets a proper residential. I do feel like this lot is a little bit hard to see, but here we go. We've got a boat in a tree. Why not? And we have the new pond tool down here. As you can see, we have a beautiful new pond stocked to the brim with fireflies and gators and mosquitoes. And then one of the big things in the movie was these like hanging bottles all from the tree. They kind of like light the area up. Mama Odie is a spellcaster. She's like a, as they deem her on Disney Wiki, voodoo priestess. So she is a single spellcaster sim that I had a ton of fun creating. And then what was really great is that we have some actual reference from Princess and the Frog because Tiana and Naveen do go and visit her house. So I was able to kind of see what it looks like on the inside. It's very cluttered, very organic looking, lots of hanging vines and plants and random stuff for potion making. She actually has a bathtub like right in the middle of her house where she mixes potions in. And obviously that would have been great to be able to do, but it's not something, I don't believe spellcasters can mix potions in bathtubs. So we had to give her like her proper bathroom and everything. But I just basically wanted like a cozy spellcaster, cluttered, a little bit messy, a little overwhelming vibe in here. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. This is the first floor, so you actually go around the stairs on the outside. There is a little walkway around here. Kind of got some stairs. Door is around the back. And then you'll see we have a ladder right here that gets you to the upstairs portion of the boat where we have her room. Very, very small, but it does what it needs to do. And there is an outdoor area on the back of the boat where she can actually mix potions because spellcasters basically need this item in order to like progress in their spellcaster related things, potions and that bit. So wanted to make sure that she had that. Go ahead and pop that on the back of the boat out here with lots of ingredients for making potions and whatnot. Kind of fun. Very unique compared to the rest of this world. We've got some of the Bayou trees and stuff, trying to like condense it in a little bit, but you still want to see the lot. So that is our second newest residential added to the Disney save. And Mama Odie, like I mentioned, she does have a familiar that is named after hers from the movie as well. And then we have, this lot was actually already here. We did originally have this area as Beauty and the Beast themed. And like I said, we moved it to Hemford on Bagley. So the reason I kept the Enchantress here from Beauty and the Beast is because she's the owner of Chapter 3 bookstore, which I also decided that I was going to keep here. And Belle's library is still staying here as well. So we do have some Beauty and the Beast left in this world. She just felt like a character that could really be off on her own, and she didn't have to stay like within the village and the rest of the builds that were already in this area. She's probably the one that could get away with being by herself. So decided to keep her there. I think she'd be much happier kind of away from the village anyway. But let's go ahead and check out a rental brand new to this world. One thing that I really, really want to do with the Disney save is have a rental in most of the worlds so that your Sims have an option to participate in that world. That's like, even if it's just a rental, you know, you come stay for a couple of days. And I was doing some research on Disneyland, trying to come up with builds for this world. And I found out that Walt Disney actually had a second secret apartment in Disneyland. So a lot of people know about his first one, which is the Walt Firehouse apartment in Disneyland that you can't, I believe you can get tours of and stuff, but that's like the very famous one. Turns out he had a second one that Disney has recently turned into an extremely exclusive, expensive dining experience called 21 Royal. And it is above the Pirates of the Caribbean ride or gift shop in Disneyland. So I decided it would be fun to make it into a rental and add it to this little area so that you can have a Sim come and stay in Willow Creek. So this is the building from Disneyland. I did change it a bit so that it could kind of aesthetically fit a little bit better here. It looks lovely in Disneyland, but it's not exactly, it didn't exactly fit here. So I did change it a little bit, but we have basically most of what you would see from reference. And the only big difference being that the actual building has like spiraling, curving staircases. But if we go inside, the interior is supposed to be extremely elegant. It was actually designed by Lillian Disney, his wife. And I had tons of amazing reference of the inside of the building. You can go there and get a dining experience currently in Disneyland. It is a $15,000 dining experience. So people who have gone took a lot of really great reference photos, which meant that I was able to replicate it. And this is essentially what it looks like. Very royal colors, lots of like bright royal blues and reds. Extremely elegant. High dining, fine dining, whatever you would want to call it. We have a bathroom on the upstairs. You do actually enter from this outside area up the stairs. This would be the front door for the rental. So this is the area that you enter. There is a balcony around the back if you'd like to look out into Willow Creek. And then if you go downstairs, that is where we have the rest of the residential area because, like I mentioned, it was originally designed for Walt and Lillian to stay in, but they wanted it to be like kind of a bigger space where they could entertain guests, so maybe a couple more bedrooms. The in real life 21 Royal is absolutely massive. It actually takes like space of a few buildings, so enough room to properly do all of the spaces, but I tried to get a really good idea of it. So we have a secondary dining area down here. We have the main bedroom, which I like to think of as Walt and Lillian Disney's bedroom. You can see the brand new bedside table here with the attached mirror from Cottage Living. This beautiful bathroom with the walk-in shower and the clawfoot bathtub right near the windows. Really, really fun bathroom. And then I wanted to add an additional room it is based after one from the actual location, but I wanted to make sure we had at least one additional room here so that if you had maybe a couple Sims could stay here rather than just a couple. But it is a nice getaway for a couple. And then we have this living room. So that's based after Disneyland. Again, that's called 21 Royal. And that makes up the new builds for this area. I do have one more build that is brand new to this world, so we'll go and visit that really, really quickly. Again, when I was doing research for this world, I decided that I wanted to do some stuff that was based after the parks. And I originally thought about doing Main Street in that little area where Belle's Village was formerly, but one of my patrons had the idea to do New Orleans Square, because obviously this world is based after New Orleans, so this makes so much more sense. And I've never personally been to Disneyland, so I'm not super familiar with it, but I decided to give it a go, and I think it's my favorite new build for this world. So here we have it. This is New Orleans Square, based after Disneyland. I took a bunch of reference from the park and recreated this little area of it. So if you've ever been, you might recognize some of this, in particular this big green building here on the edge here. When I was looking for reference, that was basically like the main focal point of a lot of reference photos and things like that. But I wanted this like narrow street, not so square, condensed build with lots and lots of stuff going on. Now this build is very unique because it is a multifunctional lot. Now, originally, when you download the save file, it's going to be marked as a bar. And that is because the main focal point of this lot is Club 33, which is a very exclusive club that's located in New Orleans Square. And that is this building right here. That and the upstairs portion. I'm not going to go over this too extensively because I actually did a tour video of New Orleans Square. So if you want to go into more depth with this build, if you really want to check out every single little bit, I will link that in my description box down below. That is a very recent video of mine. But you can actually go ahead and change the lot type depending on what you want. So this building right here will function as a restaurant. So just to show you guys really, really quickly, if you go ahead and hit restaurant, you will see that all the requirements are met. And you can use this first building as a restaurant. I based it after the Blue Bayou from Disneyland. This space right here is a Spellcaster retail based after Madame Leota's from the Haunted Mansion. We also have a secondary retail, a candy store right here, which I will show you guys really quickly because it's like my favorite thing, my new favorite build. So you can use that space as well. There is a gallery here. There is a mini card room, game room, and you can basically use it for a couple of different things. So whatever your heart desires, like I said, I like to keep it as a bar just so that this world has one. Because other than that, Willow Creek doesn't have a bar anymore. This was formerly Gaston's Tavern, which was marked as a bar. So I wanted to replace it with one. And let's go ahead really quickly, check out some of the other updates to Willow Creek that have been made. Now there is a special lot that's been added to the Sylvan Glade lot off of Willow Creek. That is accessed from a tree over here on 21 Royal lot. There's a special little tree over here that will give you access to a hidden world in Willow Creek called Sylvan Glade. And I've recently changed that lot as well. I'm not going to go there because I don't want to spoil it for you, but I built a new house for that and I built a new townie to go with it. And one of the bigger builds that got updated for the Disney save because of the new pond updating tool, or the new tool, is the Devil's Bayou, based after the Rescuers. If you have seen my original tour video of this world, then you know that formerly the Devil's Bayou had a pool around it, because the idea is that this is an old Louisiana steamboat, paddle boat. I'm not quite sure what the proper term is for it. That's kind of permanently stationed here, and what you used to have to do is do pools. So I have updated it to be a pond. It does look rather messy with all these little like animation stickers in build mode. You can't really see what's going on, but I promise you in live mode, it's very cool. And I just sort of updated that so that we could have a proper pond here instead of doing the pool, which was a bit of a nuisance before because Sims would swim in it. And just in case you've never seen this lot before, this is a celebrity nightclub. It requires 3 stars for access in. And it's a very, very simple, clean, elegant nightclub made to fit in the space of this boat. So it's supposed to be converted. Like, I really liked the idea that we kept the original windows and like original interior aspects of the ship and sort of just built upon it. It is 3 levels so that we have the bathroom upstairs here. There's some little deck areas that you can walk out onto. It's like a party boat. Another addition somewhat recently is more trees to kind of fill this in and give more of that like bayou aspect around it. And I've gone ahead and added that with Tool. And we do have some other minor changes to this world. I have basically gone through every single lot and given it a revamp. So every lot in this world, Tiana's mansion over here, the LaBeouf mansion, both from Princess and the Frog, I've gone through every lot in Willow Creek and just looked through them, repainted some stuff with the landscaping, redid a little bit of landscaping, added new cottage living stuff, dream home decorator, nifty knitting, just gone through and maybe changed out some of the decor and stuff like that, and made sure that every lot is getting proper attention. One thing that I'll actually show you guys really quickly that I was very excited for when they gave us cottage living. This was like my big thing and the first thing that I thought about when I saw this new item. So cottage living gives us a new computer that looks just like a typewriter, and I was so excited. There are a lot of lots in The Sims that require a computer, but you might not want a computer on a lot that's supposed to be themed after insert blank movie that's supposed to take place in a time period before computers, right? So one of my big ones is the Fallen Rose here, which is a Beauty and the Beast themed library. And originally we had to have computers on this lot because it's required for the library, but I was able to go in and fix them so that now we just have a typewriter instead, and it just fits so much better. It looks so much better. We have one over there, we have one over here, and just in case you have literally never seen the Fallen Rose before, this is a beautiful library where Belle has been so gracious enough to donate basically half of the Beast's library to the public because sharing and Belle, and that just seems very her, and designed this castle themed very elegant library with all these open archways and things like that that I really wanted to have, where I like pictured Sims just like sitting out on the balcony and kind of reading a book with a breeze. So that has been updated, but I promise you I've gone through every single lot and changed it. I've also gone through every single lot in Evergreen Harbor, which is a finished world that I have completed for the Disney save. No major changes that I would want to point out to anybody, but everything has been revamped here. And then in Forgotten Hollow, I did make some minor changes as well. One of the bigger ones just being that Cottage Living added a new fridge, so I went ahead and added that to some of my older castles here where you don't want like a super modern looking fridge on the lot. And that is the end of my new Willow Creek tour video. Now, I know you're asking, how do I download this? And the answer is the new Willow Creek is going to be included in my next version of the Disney save, which will have the completed Mount Komorebi. And I'm not done testing that out yet. So I wanted to show off the changes here because I wasn't going to show them off in the next tour video, but I knew that we were probably going to wait so I can bundle it all together. So the next version of the Disney save that's going to be out will be this new version of Willow Creek, Evergreen Harbor, Mount Komorebi, and Forgotten Hollow. And that should be up in the next few weeks here ready for download. If you absolutely can't wait and you want the Dumbo builds right now, you want Mama Odie's Treehouse, they're available for download on the gallery. My origin ID is TomilynYT. That is written in my description box down below as well if you are interested in checking them out. But they're already available, so if you want to go get them in this format, you can. But if you want them in Disney Save format, you're just going to have to wait a couple more weeks while I finalize Mount Komorebi, which is Monsters, Inc., Frozen, and Mulan themed. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for the tour video for that. Let me know what you thought of the new version of Willow Creek in the comment section down below. And thank you all so much for watching. If you'd like to support the Disney Save on Patreon, you can do so by clicking the link in my description box down below or the one at the end of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Hit that little bell icon below to turn on post notifications so you can get updated every single time I post. And I will talk to you all in the next one.